samples for research.
Let's pass this creature's characteristics to the orbital scanner and look for a location where we can find more of them.
Affirmative, Ashley. We should have some results available shortly.
Okay, so I finished the mission here.
We found a location that looks like a breeding ground for the Stregoros species. We can go there to study it further.
The sun's activity is at an extreme today. It might be dangerous.
Ah, there's a seed.
The sun is burning our armor and structures. Hopefully this will not last long.
A new technology has been developed.
New blueprints are available.
We have finished researching tanzanite handling. We can start researching new weapons and equipment based on this mineral. However, please bear in mind that we will need to obtain this resource to craft these new inventions. The purple cacti, in which we originally discovered tanzanite, could be a good lead.
Let's gather more samples of this plant to study how it manages to synthesize this material. It's our best lead.
Ashley, I have already detected an interesting location with dense groups of these cacti. It is nearby, and we can jump there through the orbital scanner interface.
Okay, let's do that as soon as we've secured our current objective.
As you can see, you unlock a bunch of stuff in terms of locations from just going to one of these reconnaissances. Oh, I also need to assign you research. I'll do that in a moment. Also, the color of these seeds signifies their rarity, if it wasn't obvious. More rare resources. In this case, we have tanzanite.
The technology queue is empty.
I'll fill it up in a moment. Okay. Research. So let's see. We got maintenance tool, repair tool, and titanium machinery as those. We got Gnero, or whatever his is pronounced. Mushbit. So the little cockroaches. The Stregoros and Zorans. Plants and new crystals. Right, so let's...
completed.
Got the research station, tanzanite. Okay, so it didn't tell us that we need to research anything specific now. So we're gonna go for the radiation shielding and then for the UV shielding. Weapon-wise, we're gonna take energy sensors. I'm gonna get this sorted as well. There we go. We're set for research for the time being. Now I could go away from this map now. I've got everything I need here. Or I could stick around and I could search for more seeds. I call them seeds, although I don't know how they're actually called. I just refer to them as seeds because that's how they look like. There's another one. Usually, there might be some kind of a nest or something, I don't know. Set up the mines. It does. It's a similar. It's a similar concept. So much like Factorio, you do make a base, and there are aliens to fight, and you can build turrets and stuff. But it's much more hack and slashy. Okay. There is so much more to explore on this particular... Also, maps are procedurally generated, so they're never the same as far as I know. At least if they are the same, they don't look like it. I have not been on the same map twice yet, so I don't think they're...
The weather is changing. I'm sensing an intense dust storm coming our way. This may affect our solar panels.
I think we can move away from this now. Yeah, there's no point in sticking around.
The sky is barely visible now, and dust is getting everywhere. I hate dust storms.
Okay, might as well move on. Because I could spend way too much time on this place. So we have done the radioactive desert reconnaissance. There's acidic plain reconnaissance, volcanic area reconnaissance, and then we have the missions that go from those. So I'm gonna do the reconnaissances first because I'm not gonna be building any bases there. I just wanna get them off. So this is what, if you get a warning that you won't be able to return to this place if you choose to leave without setting up an outpost. Now, that being said, there is no reason not to set up an outpost here, because when you leave they won't be attacked. Attacks only happen while you are on the map, so when you leave the outpost still continues producing resources even if you're not there. So must have been a rocky outcrop.
Outpost construction in progress. This building is a local version of our headquarters. It will allow me to reconstruct whenever I am destroyed. And it has a permanent rift station that we can rift jump to at any time.
It will also allow us to automatically transfer all of the resources that are mined in this location back to our HQ, even if we're not present in this location. We can construct a network of such outposts around the planet to build up our economy. It's the only way to acquire enough resources to construct the Rift Station and all of its components.
Be mindful of where we place these buildings, though. Our headquarters have a capacity limit of how many outposts we can support at once. So whenever there is no use for an outpost, we should deconstruct it and recycle the resources that were used to build it.
And that's why I shouldn't have built this one here. So I was...
Ironium storage is full. Build more storage facilities.
Essentially, there's a limit on how many you can have. And there is really no point in having this map. I forgot that there is a limit to how many you can build. So I'm not gonna build one there. See, now it tells me that there is an outpost here, but there isn't because I just deconstructed it. There's a limit on how many outposts you can have, and I think it's tops at 10, I think, something like that. In any case, we're gonna wait on that. There are maps on which I want to have an outpost on, but not on these reconnaissance, because they are very low on resources to begin with. I don't think it's necessary. If the outpost were an unlimited thing you could set up, then I would just go for it, go nuts. But there's a limit, so I'd rather not. Also, I don't know how to check once the map or the outpost is no longer sending resources. Okay.
Rift jump successful. Environmental scanning in progress. Ashley, my senses are indicating a highly acidic atmosphere composition.
Fluoric acid condensation is definitely abnormal compared to what we've seen in other parts of the planet. Something must be emitting the acid straight into the air. Let's look around to see what we can find.
Again, I'm just supposed to recon the area. Now the acidic maps are a very good source of sludge.
Has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
Okay. Ooh, yay, yay. Okay. Not really sure what I'm looking for. It should be okay from acid damage. Ooh, subterranean boys. We have those bombards.
I am picking up acidic fume emissions near our position.
Okay, let's go there to see what is causing them.
More research points. Ah, there we need to go, but there is a seed over here, so I'm gonna go get that sorted first. Ooh, I see those acid fungus. Oh, more of you guys. Well, I didn't plan for you guys to end up in those, but okay. Okay, so these guys are a bit more tougher than those roaches. At least I'm resistant to the acid. Oh, more tanzanite. Excellent. Meteor falling. Ooh. I did not plan for that.
Oh, there's more of them.
There's a seed here as well. Okay. Okay. That went better than last time. Slimy boys.
A new technology has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
Fortunately, I can get more and more ammunition from my factories back home, which is another great thing. You don't have to be on the map where your factories are to get stuff from the factories.
The acidic fumes are much denser near this growth. This thing must be responsible for the highly corrosive atmosphere in this area.
This life form is multiplying very rapidly. It is subdividing its cells, similarly to Earth-based yeast. The fluid inside these cells is highly corrosive. Please keep a safe distance.
Yeah, so this is acidic yeast. It's kind of a pain to deal with. Oh. So you want me to harvest the central part of that thing?
There must be much more of this acidic yeast growing here. The orbital scanner report indicated that this entire biome is covered in these fumes. We should study it further before setting up a permanent outpost in this area of the planet.
Where are you?
Ashley, I strongly suggest using a bioscanner to gather samples from these life forms. The fluid inside them is a highly condensed acid that can easily burn through my armor. The bioscanner will allow us to gather samples from a safe distance.
Okay, this is not supposed to be this easy. I think this is a glitch. You're only supposed to be able to scan one of them.
Okay, that's enough samples to start researching them in the alien research lab. Interesting. We found traces of palladium inside the acidic yeast samples that we just collected. It might be a good idea to search for larger colonies of this life form. They might indicate the location of higher concentrations of palladium. The acidic yeast colonies that we've observed seem to grow from a central root inside the colony. I'd like to study a living colony in its natural habitat to gather more data on how it gathers palladium from the environment. We'll need to construct a local research station near one of the colonies in order to do that. We'll have to download the necessary technology for that building if we don't have it yet.
Ashley, I'm afraid that the research station will not be able to scan the colony from a safe distance. It would have to be placed very close to the root of the colony to work properly. We will not be able to build anything that close to the root without being overwhelmed by its growth, especially given the fact that we do not want to destroy it.
I think that we can prevent the colony from overgrowing our base by covering the soil with a structure that the acidic yeast can't grow on.
Standard floor tiles are going to be corroded by the colony.
We can prevent that. Now that we know the type of acid that this life form is producing, we can research special anti-corrosive flooring that will protect our base. We just need to build the research station on the anti-corrosive floor tiles. Amazing. These red crystals are really huge. Look at how the light is scattering below their surface. It's mesmerizing.
They also contain a lot of rhodonite. We can use this mineral to construct high-powered laser emitters for our weapons, as well as other equipment.
You already had me convinced at lasers. We definitely need to learn more about these crystals. We should research rhodonite handling as soon as possible.
I think that's all the missions that we get from here. Oh. Shotgun to the face when all else fails. Oh, seed.
The acidic gas is dispersing. The eruption is over. It's hard to say how often these may happen.
Oopsie daisy. mods, some resources. I got all the missions completed here. Okay. Right. Let me see what we got. We got a couple of new animals, new plants, and new crystals. Go. Right. We got radiation from radiation shielding, sun shielding, energy sensors. We can now build gas power plants, biocomposters, and gas filtering plants, all of which are essentially just to create flammable gas. For that I will need sludge. So essentially that's a way to use sludge effectively. Now, none of these will open up until I upgrade the building, so we're gonna do that later. I still have one reconnaissance missions to do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these out. So anti-corrosive floor, we will need that almost immediately, really. Environmental shooting against acid is also gonna be necessary, and then rhodonite handling. So that's all together about 20 minutes. And I think we're gonna be done with the reconnaissance mission by then. Okay, so we just need to go to volcanic area reconnaissance. You can see that the low amount of resources that all of these areas have. So the way that this is all structured is first it takes me to recon these areas, and then every biome is gonna be tasking me with finding out specific resources and constructing bases there to get those resources, which is why I'm not building outposts yet. Once that mission shows up, then I will be constructing proper outposts there. So we will be actually taken in multiple places, constructing bases on all around.
Rift jump successful. Warning, temperature above safety levels. This area is hotter than we expected. My armor is going to sustain damage from the heat.
We've landed in the middle of an active volcanic area. We expected high temperatures, but not this high. The measurements from the orbital scanner were different. Something's off. We won't survive here for long.
Ashley, I'm detecting multiple temperature anomalies close to our position. It looks like my sensors are broken. The temperature suddenly drops in these areas by hundreds of degrees.
We received some anomalous readings from the orbital scanner. This might be it. We have to investigate that.
These guys are not... They're resisting almost everything. Ooh. I need to run. I might actually be destroyed here.
This is amazing. These plants are unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Okay.
The temperature around them is much below the freezing temperature of water.
Ashley, moving closer to this plant, we can study it from up close and cool off in its aura.
The chemical compounds that are secreted by these plants react with the volcanic gases that are present here. This reaction sucks enormous amounts of energy from the space around it, resulting in very rapid cooling of its surroundings. It's an astonishing survival mechanism.
Okay, on astonishing survival mechanism, could you give me
We can
back
use this
access
effect
to
our
healing?
advantage. The space around these plants is safe for us, so we can use it to regenerate while moving around this biome.
We should try to replicate this effect. We have to gather enough samples of this plant to research it in our lab. We can do that by cutting them down or by using the bioscanner.
I would strongly suggest using the bioscanner. It is much more effective at gathering usable samples, and it will not destroy our safety zones. You can craft it in the armory if you haven't done that already.
This growth formation is very peculiar. It's a crystal entwined in very strong vines. It looks like this life form actually cultivates this crystal.
I
This
dropped
crystal
a weapon.
contains a rare mineral called verdonite. It can be used for gravitational field manipulation when combined with a powerful magnetic field. It doesn't exist on Earth.
The magnetic field in this biome is acting completely strange. It is very fitting to see this mineral here. We should definitely research these crystals further. This will allow us to gather more verdonite and create new equipment.
Okay. Thank you for that. Weapon reclaimed, my first death. You drop your weapons when you die.
A new technology has been orbital scanning completed. We have located a large colony of acidic yeast. I have marked the rift jump coordinates on the planetary scanner interface. Warning. It is recommended to develop acidic shielding before visiting that location. It is going to be difficult to survive there without it.
Already on it. Fortunately, my hammer seems to be effective, so it's hammer time. And now it gives me back the ability to heal. It wouldn't let me repair for some reason. So chalk that to my first death. Okay, shotgun's also effective. Jeez.
We've gathered enough samples to study these cryoplants in our alien research laboratory.
Let's do this as soon as possible. If we can learn to replicate this effect, then we should be able to move freely around this biome.
Okay. Is there anything else on this biome? Because I really don't want to stick around here, this place. Yeah, without shielding I won't be able to even get that. Yeah, that was effective.